So, welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we're taking a look at a quite old game, considering, called The Conquerors, Alexander the Great. It's a game by the late Richard Berg, put out by GMT, as you can see, back in 2006. So the game's been around a while. It's not the biggest game in the whole world, but it was one that I had the opportunity to get my hands on, and this particular copy has not been played before, and this is a very large, kind of wide perspective game on the campaigns of Alexander the Great. Technically, it's a two-player game. It can be played solo fairly easily from what I've heard. There's not much in the way of hidden information. There's a little bit from the event cards, but that's nothing insane that you couldn't do very easily. Medium complexity, whatever that means. Now, the one thing I had heard is this plays much better as a solitaire game because it's maybe not the most balanced in the whole world and it's quite difficult. Alexander's just very, very strong, and it's the Persians basically trying to fight against Alexander. It's basically impossible. It's not something that's easy to do in any way, shape, or form. So what we'll do is we'll crack it open and see what we've got inside. So the first thing we have a little deck of cards, and these are, if you've played any of Berg's games, usually you're going to get a deck, and it's this little deck of event cards. And usually pretty bad things happen to you all the time. Sometimes it's good things. But you get that really nice artwork from the front of the box on it. I appreciate it when a card looks nice. The cards themselves have just kind of that marbled effect. Not really any pictures. There's a couple, but not much. A lot of it's text rich. But you'll be drawing kind of one of these at any given time. And usually you'll either hold on to it or you have to play it. Things like that. We do have dice in here. There's these little 3 miniature 6-sided dice. And we have the rule book. And rules. Let's see, it's old GMT 2-column black and white. Shouldn't be too complex to learn. I've read this style before. There's a few couple examples of diagrams, but nothing massive. A lot of this is text. What do we got here? It's 24. That's not really rules. Those are cards. Really, we're looking at, let's see, that's all rules. Really, we're looking at, in actuality, 20 pages of rules. So, nothing crazy. What I expect from this is some nuggets from Berg, because in his games there's always something that's a little bit different, that's a little bit spicy, that you know, there's something to kind of really delve into, even if it's just a single mechanic, how that influences the game and what he was designing for it. There's always something interesting in his games, at least. This is one play aid, and there are 2 of these, and they are identical. Just printed on kind of a beige card. So we have on here a revolt table, that sounds fun. An Alexander battle injury table, that sounds fun. Siege assault table, always enjoyable, and a little terrain effects chart there as well. And on the back of it we have our combat tables, land battle, attrition, and battle loss table as well. These are the bits which are usually, there's some stuff built into those which give interesting effects, just from my experience of playing his games at least. As well, the map, we'll crack that out in a second. It is point to point. We have in here, oh nice, we have a little signed receipt from Denise. She signed that at least 14 years ago, which is very pleasant. We appreciate that. There is 1 counter sheet. It is the old white core. And up here we have these blue garrison units there. And then down here, these red ones. And then we have some strength points. And some different admin markers and bits and pieces there as well. But that's really the core of it. You've got these different armies, 1, 2, and 3, and probably some smaller different islands here. And then you've got all of these different leaders from the Macedonian side of it, and probably some leaders from the Persian side of it up here as well. But it's not a massive, complex game. So you'll have your armies, and you have the strength points in the armies. Usually how that works out. So it's low counter density, which you would expect from a point-to-point map, but that's, it's nice, and I appreciate that they're doing that. These in Revolt markers, I've seen those in other games, so those are being repurposed here, which is nice. Always appreciate those. But that's it. That's the game. From a counter standpoint. Over here we have the map. This is the last thing we'll crack this open. It is a paper map, but it's that heavy paper that you'd expect from a game from GMT, especially of this age. Ugh! Okay. Let's move these out of the way. So this is the map that we've got. And it's obviously a map of the Eastern Mediterranean, Middle East, from what we know it now. So, on either side of the map, so in this corner down here, and it's mirrored up here, we have those were our army holding boxes. So I'm going to put my units and strength points in there, and then Army 1, this is Army 1, Army 2, Army 2. And it's the same thing, Army 1, 2, and 3, that's up there as well. So those are holding boxes, and for the elite units there, we have ASP availability, amphibious shipping points maybe, not quite sure. And then there's a general track as well. This is the Alexander injury level, so don't let him die, that's probably not good. And then the Macedonian weariness level of their army. So presumably they're the ones doing the campaigning, so you've got to have successes and get them paid and fed, otherwise they don't want to fight anymore. And then there was that same mirrored tracks and boxes for the Persian player up here. But like we said, it's these point-to-points. We got, Babylon, all down to Persepolis, all the way down here. But point to point, we got dotted lines. Probably that's for rough terrain. It's usually how it is. Probably circles and hexagons. These look like these are big fortified cities. And then we have these amphibious lanes over here as well. And the map does go all the way up to Greece and into Thracia as well. So, nice looking map. Apparently, I've been advised to play this solo, so I'm probably going to do it. And then based on that, I'll see if it's worth playing 2-player with Grant, or if it's like, nah, it's too much of a walkover. It's not worth it. It's a 2-player experience. So, if you have played this 2-player and you got any opinions on it, let me know in the comments, because I'm very interested. Because it's a cool game. I bought it because it was I traded for it because it was my namesake, and who knows, it could be a diamond in the rough. So appreciate you guys tuning in. This is Alexander the Great from the Conquerors series. Indeed, it was the only game in that series, which maybe doesn't bode well, but I'm excited nonetheless. And it's from GMT Games, old one. If you want to get it, fish it up off the secondhand market and give it a go. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I've been Alexander from theplayersaid.com.